and that's what we'll do.
Hey mate, you alright?
I'm very well. Well, who are you first?
I don't need to tell you that right now.
Well, I don't need to tell you anything.
Right, okay. What are you doing, mate?
Well, first of all, who are you, please?
I'm a police officer.
Okay.
Okay. To be left, not see our code to the gate.
He's not meant to be filming your own cars, no.
Okay. So if you could just step away while we just put
Well,
the
no,
codes
I'm
into
on
the
public
gate, that would be
property.
great.
Well, it's down to you to cover it up, not me.
Okay, that's
down to you to
absolutely
cover it
fine.
up.
I'll stand here while you guys go in then. I'm not letting you see the code to my gate, to the gate,
Well,
alright?
it's down to you to cover it up.
Alright, fine.
Don't put your hand in my face. Okay.
Okay.
And as I said, as a police officer,
camera.
as I said, you should be identifying yourself, which you failed to do so.
Okay. Right now.
Okay. I've asked you to identify yourself, and yet you still haven't.
Okay, I'm a police
Thank
officer.
you very much.
Okay, so I'm going to go
Thank you
into
very
my
much.
work.
That's fine. Go
Okay.
into your work.
Alright.
Okay. And as I said, you failed to identify yourself, madam.
I failed to do anything.
Yes, you did. I asked you to identify yourself, and you failed to do so. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Hello, yeah, you're alright.
Not bad, sir.
You're allowed to stand in public.
Would you mind just identifying yourself?
No, I don't have to.
Okay, you don't have to. Well, it's in your code of practice, sir,
Listen.
and you should be identifying
listen. Well,
yourself.
you can
I don't have
identify
to
me, it's
listen to
there.
anything, sir.
Right, you're on
And
public
your number
property, that's
2456.
But you can't be recording the code. You can't
Well, it's
be
down to you
recording
to
the
cover
code.
it up. It's down to you to cover it up.
well.
I can film whatever I wish in public. Okay.
Yeah, receive if we get details,
So-
I'll pass up to CT desk.
It's down to you to actually cover it up, sir, not me.
Here this clip shows the initial interaction at Cuden Police Station, where the officer failed to identify herself when requested, an apparent breach of the Code of Ethics, which requires officers to provide their details upon request. The situation escalates almost immediately when she places a hand in the auditor's face in an attempt to obstruct lawful filming on what appears to be public property. This moment highlights how quickly tensions can rise when basic professional standards are not followed from the outset.
Okay, I'm standing on public ground and I'm doing a completely lawful activity.
I never said you weren't.
And you actually failed to identify
I don't have to
yourself.
identify myself.
Yes, you do. It's
No,
in your
I
code
don't.
of practice,
No, I
sir.
don't.
It's in your code of practice and you failed to do
You
so.
disagree with my filming officers at the front gate, sir?
I'm doing a legal activity, sir.
Wait, you're trying to film officers putting
No,
their
I'm
PIN
not.
codes
They're
in,
going
sir.
in. It's down to you to cover it up, not me, sir.
Yeah, we've got us late, so we won't really think
Okay.
much PP.
And
but,
officer
faster move on, sir. What's your
SN2129.
details, sir?
It doesn't matter what my details
your
are.
details, sir?
Okay, SN2175.
What is your details, sir?
Why would you require my
Because
details
at the
for?
moment, it's suspicious activity outside the police station,
Really?
so yeah.
What, a perfectly lawful activity?
Well, and what is that activity,
Perfect.
sir?
Photography in public is perfectly lawful, sir.
So why are you filming officers putting their codes into
Well, no,
the
it's down
gate?
to you to cover it up. I'm here filming everything that I can see, sir.
You're just trying to be awkward, aren't you?
Why? We're asking
You're
why,
quite
sir.
arrogant, really,
I'm
aren't
not,
you, sir?
I'm not,
Yes,
sir.
you are. So you're coming up and you're disturbing me, okay, for doing a completely lawful activity.
You're disturbing us.
No, as you said when you were standing there, okay, I should have been left alone, and that was what exactly what you guys decided
Yeah, but
to
then-
say
but
when
then
you were
you were
outside
filming
the
the
gate.
codes of our
No,
officers coming in.
Your officer made a point of pointing out the code, and as I said to her, okay, it is down to her to cover it up herself.
It's not.
Yes,
you
it is,
You
sir.
shouldn't be filming it.
It is, sir.
It's not. It's not.
Yes,
you
it
obviously
is,
don't,
sir.
You don't know the law, sir, because you
Do
should
I
not
not?
be.
Do
you
I
should
not?
be
Well,
filming
you
it.
failed to identify
I don't
yourself.
have to.
Yes, you do, sir.
I don't.
Yes, you do, and
If
you're
you
an
can read, sir,
embarrassment.
It's got shoulder numbers
Okay.
and a name badge on it.
Yeah,
If you
but
can
not
read,
everybody
sir.
can, sir.
Also,
okay? It's
if
in
you
your
see
code of
on there-
practice to actually identify with three forms of
You don't tell me
identification.
I'm doing my job, sir. Also,
Okay,
it
well,
says a sign on
well,
there.
I need to when you don't even know your own job, sir.
The encounter intensifies with the arrival of PC 2456, who also declines to properly identify himself. This becomes a critical point, as officers are required to identify themselves when asked. His assertion that filming gate codes is unlawful lacks legal foundation. In public spaces, anything visible may generally be recorded, and responsibility for protecting sensitive security measures rests with those who implement them.
Okay.
You just doing this to get likes on YouTube, I take
I don't
it, yeah?
need any lights for anything.
like,
Okay.
You got a YouTube channel?
It makes no difference.
Yeah, he
No,
does.
I'm asking, like, do you do it across the Met? Do you do it across the country? What is it? Do you do different?
I do a lot of photography in public, and most of
Well,
all
not
as well.
just police stations,
Most of
other
all as well, sir. Okay, you turn your body camera on,
Yeah, okay.
and you should actually have informed me at first possible.
Well, no,
like,
first possible point, but I'm
Yep.
asking you first.
Okay, and 1101. Okay, so failed once again.
Because you're allowed to lawfully film, okay?
I know I am. So I should have just been left alone.
Doing is filming other people's codes, but we'll leave you to it.
Well, no. If you can't cover them up, then that is your problem, sir, not mine. That is your problem. Well, then cover the number up, sir.
don't have to though. It's a
Okay.
police station.
Am I standing on public ground, sir? Am I standing on public ground? See, you won't answer the question because you know I'm perfectly right, sir.
On YouTube later.
Okay? You know I'm perfectly right, and you're the one that's in the wrong, sir. If you can't cover up the code, then it's your problem. It is not mine, sir. Okay, so there you have that PC there that decided that he didn't want to identify himself and trying to say that I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. But as you've seen, guys, as I said, I come down to actually speak about 2 officers, okay, that have been suspended for assault and battery, and now you can actually see why, to do with the arrogance of these two, and then the one that actually went in, okay, that had his body camera on, and you can see why that Croydon actually has a name when you look at these officers that are here, especially this one here, because it's a complete embarrassment.
Multiple officers now gather at the scene, creating an atmosphere that appears more intimidating than de-escalatory. The auditor accurately references a relevant code of practice, while officers incorrectly claim they are not required to identify themselves. This reflects a concerning misunderstanding of their own policies and raises questions about the consistency of training and adherence to established standards.
So, and these are people that we actually pay for and what we do. But yeah, what a joke this is. So, an absolute joke. So, and you can see there. Okay, so that was the officer there that asked me, that turned his body camera on. Didn't want to say that he'd turn it on, but it was on.
But he's allowed to film.
I know he is, but he should have actually have informed me. And yes, he does. That is part of your code of practice. See, that tells you where you are far wrong.
Sir, listen,
Okay.
when it's proportionate to tell you, okay, when I have
Okay.
the best opportunity, sir. I don't
Correct.
just activate it.
Correct, and which you did when I pointed it out. You did actually say it.
it.
Yep, and then you did actually point it out, and that's what I just said,
Yeah.
okay, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Okay, and this officer, okay, behind you,
Yeah.
said that you don't, okay, it's in your code of practice that you do at the first possible opportunity, and that is exactly what you just done. Now, you just confirmed that, and he's standing behind you, still shaking his
At the end
head,
of the day.
and that's why there's a problem.
Okay, at the end of the day, the matter's squashed, okay?
Okay,
I've
yep.
told you it was on
Okay?
when the most reason and the most proportionate
Yeah,
time.
yeah, which is
Okay,
perfectly
okay.
fine. Which is perfectly fine.
All we're asking, essentially, is just obviously whether you're not, whether you are filming officers, just because there's obviously safety around the building, safety around other officers, and obviously that's sort of national, that's a threat to the building, a threat to officers. All right, so all we're asking, you can film, you're allowed to film, you have the right to film in public.
Yep.
Obviously, just don't film officers' codes, whether you are or not. Obviously, don't know, but where from the angle you're standing and obviously raising the camera, how it looks to us.
Well, I raised it purely because he tried to actually block me when I didn't need
Fine,
to be
Because you
blocked.
told me that officers
Okay.
should block their codes.
And
So I
that
did.
is what they should be doing.
so I did.
Okay? That is exactly what they should be doing.
Hello sir, I'm sure you've spoken to a few of my colleagues already.
Well, first of all, could you identify yourself for
I'm
me, please?
PC Evans, 2168
Thank you
Sierra
very much,
November.
sir.
I'm based here.
Thank you very much, sir.
Following
After
the
the heated
heated exchange, additional context is provided regarding 2 officers from this station who were previously suspended for assault and battery. The auditor draws a connection between their history and the aggressive conduct observed here. It is also notable how rapidly multiple officers responded to someone merely filming, resources that could arguably have been better allocated
deployed
elsewhere.
elsewhere.
You are currently on private property. There's no issue with you filming, but can you go back to the pavement
I'm
and do
on
it from there,
public
please?
property.
No, this is private
This
property.
is public
so
property.
up to the line with the pavement, this is
Okay.
property of the
Can you show me where the
Metropolitan
signs are then, please, sir? If there's no signs, it's public property, it's all part of the pavement. Okay,
This is
right the
part
way,
of the pavement,
right
this
the
is
way
the
up
police
until
station.
that gate is fully publicly accessible
No,
under Section
I'm afraid-
33 of the Criminal Justice Act of
afraid
1972. Okay, I'm allowed to lawfully go. Okay, where it's publicly accessible.
Okay, so if,
there are
if
no
my,
signs
if my
saying
front
private
garden
property.
was publicly accessible,
No,
would you be in my front garden?
A private garden is
Yeah.
completely different to public property.
But you said a place at which public have
Okay.
the access to.
They
so,
don't have
So I have
a
access
garden.
to all those people's front gardens, but I
Do
don't
the public
go there
pay
'cause
for your
it's-
garden? Do the public pay for your garden?
No, of course they don't.
Do they pay for this building? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean you have right to access to it.
Under Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act
Right.
of 1972, okay,
What I'm
I have
saying
the
to you-
right to actually be where it's publicly accessible. There
Yep.
are no signs there, okay, saying private property.
Okay, but I'm now informing
and that
you-
what makes it perfectly lawful
I'm
for
now
me to be here.
informing you that this is all the way up to where the change in the tarmac is private
Okay.
property. It's property of the
Right.
Metropolitan Police
Do you want to
Service.
walk over there and show me the signs?
There are no signs.
Well,
but
then I'm
now
perfectly in my
telling you-
lawful right then, sir.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Because I'm now telling you you're on private property and that you're trespassing, and I would like you to move back to the
Trespassing is
pavement.
a civil matter.
Okay, not in a police
Trespassing is
station.
a
It's
civil
not. There's a
matter.
specific offence causing a disturbance
What's
on
that
police
then,
premises.
sir? Can you tell me what that
Well,
law
I
is?
can tell you the legislation if
Please
you like.
do, sir. Please do.
But it is an offence.
No, please do.
And I'd like you to move back to the
No,
pavement.
no.
That's all.
Well, once you
can
don't tell me
continue to
that,
film.
once you don't tell me that, sir, then it's fine.
Yeah, of course, mate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once you tell me that,
Okay,
then
so nice to
no
meet you.
worries. Take care. Okay. Once you don't tell me that, I have no problem in doing that, sir.
Okay.
If you can actually tell me what that law
Bear
is,
with me 2 seconds.
then I'm perfectly
Unfortunately,
happy.
we don't know everything.
PC Evans arrives and asserts that the area is private property, despite the absence of any visible signage. The auditor correctly references Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act 1972, noting that areas open to public access without clear signage are generally considered publicly accessible. This basic legal principle appears to be unfamiliar to the officers involved.